Hey everybody, hope everyone's having a great day today. Early in the morning here, and I was like, well, I don't have any work to do, so might as well do a knife video. And my buddy Drew over at Pocket Steel, he wanted me to do a review on this knife because he was interested himself, and I think I'm gonna have him convinced, and I might have you guys convinced too. So stick around. But anyway, yeah, go check out my buddy over at Pocket Steel and go subscribe and check out his videos too. This is a really cool knife at under 20 bucks, the Ganzo G727M. Mine are orange scales, G10. They look great. You can get them in several other colors, so there is some customizable ability. And I liked orange, and you don't get a chance to find a lot of knives that you like. So yeah, because it was customizable, I wanted to go get the orange scales, and I don't think there's even a big difference in the price, if anything at all. Um, so the knife itself, it's about a 3.5 inch blade, about a 5.25 inch handle. So when it's completely engaged, you're looking at about 8.25 inches. So it's similar in size to the Rat One. In fact, this is almost a direct duplicate of the Rat One. They're pretty much the exact same knife. The only one of the big differences is that this knife has an axis lock like a Benchmade, so it doesn't have the liner lock like the Rat does. I actually like this Axis lock a lot. It's not as good as the Benchmade, of course. Certainly not as buttery smooth, but the spring engages well, and it's overall a really nice, satisfying little Axis lock, and it's pretty cool because you don't get to see that under 30 bucks very often, especially under 20 bucks. Um, the pocket clip is great in my opinion. It's not overly aggressive, so I like that a lot, and it's a fairly good deep carry, less the spot for the sort of insignificant lanyard hole, and the torque screw as well. And it is reversible two-way, so you can flip it on this side, but it is only going to be tip up if that's a big deal. Don't say I didn't warn you guys. Um, the ergonomics on this knife are great. Now, before I open it, I just want to tell you one of the things I didn't care for this knife, and that was that this had a lot of blade play and still does, but I actually improved it, believe it or not. You see that? It was even worse than this. And I had to go tighten up that torque screw. It probably needs to be tightened again, but it was even worse. It was slapping across the sides of the scales and the liners, and I was like, wow, that's a quality control blunder if I've never seen one. So I don't know if that's just a quality control or not. I have a couple other Ganzos. They don't have this kind of blade play. Maybe a little here and there, but not like this. So I do think that I had a little quality control issue on that particular one. So that's my knock on the Ganzo. Now, even when I didn't have it tightened yet, even when it completely it engages great with this axis lock here. And I love that. And isn't that just a beautiful blade? This is 440C steel, which is a great steel. In my opinion, it's always gonna be compared to 8CR 13MOV and to Oz 8, which is what you're gonna find on the Rat models. But I just feel to me that the 440C is just a better steel. Its edge retention I feel like is every bit as good, if not better. Certainly, I feel like the rust corrosion I feel like to me is outlasted. I've had to deal with a couple pitting spots on a couple knives that have 8CR, and I've used this knife a lot more than those to cut all kinds of things like limes and lemons, things that are acidic, fruit, vegetables. I mean, I've used water just to rinse it off, and I mean, it really, really holds up very well. So this is a wonderful drop point. Beautiful finish on this knife. And quite frankly, I actually like that Ganzo logo a lot better than the Rat logo, which I absolutely hate. That was my one knock on the Rat logo. So this is better. um, it's an extremely sharp knife. This blade is very sharp, takes an edge great. I haven't actually even had to sharpen this thing yet, but I've sharpened a couple of my buddies for them. Not this exact model, but uh, mine just hasn't had to be sharpened. I don't want to sharpen it yet. And it's got great ergonomics in the hand. I'm a medium handed person as a male, and I still have at least an inch of workable room. So large handed people, maybe unless you're Andre the Giant, may have an issue, but otherwise you should be able to easily fit this knife, and it should hold up to all the EDC tasks that you're going to ask out of it. The action is very smooth. It opens up great. Not the when it disengages fine, but again, not Benchmade quality, but that's okay. And it locks up very, very well. Here's a little bit of the side to side I was mentioning. The thumb studs are prominent, very similar to the Ontario Rat series because these knives are so similar to each other, so I keep comparing them. You see that moving, but again, I feel like with the axis lock to me, it engages so well and it locks up so tight. that I just have no fear that this knife is ever going. And I'm pushing as hard as I can. You can see my finger turning purple. I'm really pushing down, and I just have no fear that this knife is ever going to close on me at all. And it's so locked up and sturdy. That's why I can accept the little quality control blunder with the knife being fairly loose. It doesn't weigh a whole lot, since it's G10 and not stainless steel, so I like that part a lot. It feels great in the hand. Even as a left-handed, I'm not left-handed, but they just add. I love how they just put it perfectly there. And as a medium-handed person, I could flip my finger right over onto the pocket clip and have that room, and it's just really, really good. I like that a lot. So this is a great knife. I don't want to get into too much detail about this one under $20, but I mean, I have to say, in my opinion, it's one of the top knives you're gonna find under $30 with 440C steel. A great, nice size blade, very sturdy, G10 handles, well made. You're just getting a lot of bells and whistles for under $25. So I absolutely recommend this knife. And if you have any questions before or prior to purchasing and you'd like me to address them, leave me a comment or question below, and I always try to get back to everybody as soon as I possibly can. So Drew, I hope this convinced you, buddy. I'm trying to put this landscape style for you, but great knife, man. You need to pick it up, and so do everybody else. Take care, guys. Thanks for watching.